Alrighty then, g'day guys and welcome. My name is Michael and I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and we are here yet again on another beautiful Wednesday evening for Dungeons and Dragons Curse of Strahd. Joining me, of course, is none other than my wonderful Patreons who support this channel and show me all the love in the world, helping me keep the lights on and continue doing these fun little games here and there. These guys are here, of course, to embark on this nightmarish gothic horror adventure. I know, it's been a week already, right, Kalindria? It has been. It goes by so quickly. But you know what? I'm almost glad it does, because it means that I get to spend more time with these people, with you guys, and it's honestly just so much fun. Now, it's so good to see so many new people in the chat here. It's so wonderful to meet you guys, and we will, of course, get a chance to chat, because as anyone who has watched my channel would know, I love chatting with you guys in the audience. I think you guys are absolutely wonderful, and you guys are not here just to watch this game. I mean, I'm sure you guys are, but, you know, in addition to watching the game, guys, you all get to be a part of the game from behind the GM screen. Now, in the first way, you can type anything in chat, and most of the time I will, of course, get to see it. There are also channel points that you will be able to use in order to influence my game. And lastly, of course, every single person, even without channel points, can give me a number between 1 to 51, and I will go through my deck of plot twists, and we'll draw forth a series of plot twists that may come in handy to help the PCs or bring them to their doom. Whichever the case is, you know, it's all a bunch of fun, and we're here to just have a good time. Now, while we are getting plot twist numbers from you guys, and of course, you know, getting ready to begin, let's of course turn to my wonderful players and find out what are the characters that they are currently playing in this run of Curse of Strahd. Let us start with none other than the dear and wonderful character of Vagag, played by the illustrious Neil, or Immersion Diversion. Good evening, sir. How are you today?
Good morning to you also. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am splendiferous. Tell us about Vagag, and let's see, share a tale of Vagag from his days in the university. So tell us who he is and then share that tale.
Okay. So Vagag is a sage or teacher over at Fairhaven. He obviously teaches the students how to use magic / be wizards, because he himself is a wizard, but magic in general, so that, you know, clerics or druids and even arcane tricksters can use magic and such. So Vagag in his past, his vacations are more or less, he goes on adventuring parties because he finds adventuring kind of fun as well. So he's an adventurer at the same time as being a teacher, but he would always be like, we need to finish this dungeon pretty quick. I need to be back in class in a week. Make sure my students aren't like slacking. Stuff like that. So
Very nice, very nice. All right.
So he was an adventurer too. So
I love it. I love it. Next up, we have, of course, the dominating figure known as Argento, played by the even more dominating and amazing Charles, who has mysteriously learnt how virtual cameras work in Zoom. I mean, I have no idea how he picked up this skill, but, you know, clearly some pro green screen work at the back there, Charles. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yes. No doubt. Look, yeah, I tried it before, but I had a bunch of stuff going on in the background before when I tried this little trick, and it never worked. So now that I've got a plain white background, it works much better.
It looks beautiful, man. So tell us about Argento, and share with us the moment that Argento met his I guess first priest, given that he is, of course, a paladin.
Sure.
His first dabble into religion.
First dabble into religion was, well, first Argento is obviously Silverborn Dragon. He's a very different kind of paladin that most people would probably realize. He's not your traditional come through the divine arts and all that. He was more born out of necessity, but he found his way into a slave camp. And he was a young child who was taught to work after the slaves, and he came across an ogre he was a menacing figure, and he sort of challenged Argento, and Argento, as a young boy who thought he was not going to be intimidated by anyone, tried to fight back, and that was a mistake. So, however, it led to this figure trying to decide that he was going to train young Argento in the ways of a paladin and how to be, I guess, more holy and to fight for virtue and things of that nature. But things took a dark turn and set Argento on the way that he's gone. So that's kind of how Argento came about his skills, although it's like I said, a sort of a end around sort of way to become a paladin. But he found, I guess, his calling in Bahamut, the Silver Dragon, who obviously he has some connection with, and that's where he sort of has ventured off on his ways.
All right, very cool. I love it. Absolutely love it.
What happens if we find an ogre on the way? You said ogre, right?
Yeah. Actually, he was an ogre. What? He was a large figure. Let's put it that way. My mind's a bit
large and green.
Yeah. And you know what?
Actually,
and you know what? Many different paladins can come from different places, as long as they have a kind of oath, devotion, or code that they follow. But I do recall we did mention the whole Bahamut thing, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, I like those. Look, call me old-fashioned, but I like paladins working for an organization more than like, I vow to only eat vegetables on Fridays. Now I can smite evil. I'm like, there's not really the spirit of things. Anyway, I digress. That's my own gripe. We don't need to talk about it. Next up, of course, the bearded lumberjack himself, the ever wonderful Tim, playing the role of the even more wonderful Domiro the Satyr. Good evening, Tim.
Good evening, Michael.
Tell us about Domiro, and I've got a good one. Tell us about the first time Domiro found love.
First time?
The very first time.
Well, there's been so many.
I was born and I looked at my mother.
He was about 16. No.
Yeah. Right away.
Probably would have been the very first cupcake that we got.
What flavor?
Well, I mean, it was chocolate, of course.
Perfect.
Just gazing upon that lovely, lovely, warm cupcake. Steaming chocolate smells coming out. Oh, that was a sight to behold.
Excellent.
This is where Michael tells us the description.
I'll save that for later, because I am actually really hungry. And tell us about who Domiro happens to be.
Domiro happens to be a satyr bard, as you mentioned previously. Thoroughly enjoying life and travel and new experiences and new companions. Always on the lookout to have a bit of fun. Which is quite challenging in Strahd's domain. Except in one town, but we won't speak of that one.
It's very true.
And so whilst spirits overall might be down in the area, that doesn't mean that you can't find the small joys where they come. And being a bard, he takes it upon himself to try and lighten the mood somewhat if he can, or if the situation calls for it, then stab things in the face.
All right, fantastic. And last but absolutely not least, the wonderful McKinley playing the role of the even more wonderful changeling. I want to say Oracle because it's just what I feel
Halfling.
Esther happens to be. The changeling Oracle, fortune teller. We have. Oh no, what was the word? Damn it! I had it. It was that the
Halfling.
She's a halfling.
You're never gonna live that down.
root worker. Yes, that was it. And there was a reason why I didn't say it because that means something very different in Australian. But nonetheless, no. It's no, you're too young. We don't talk about it. Anyway, moving on. There goes my PG rating. Bye.
It may sound different if I'm.
No, you're saying it absolutely correctly. We are just a dirty culture, and don't worry about that. That's just all on us. But share with us who Esther is And you know what I'd be really interested in? What was the first fortune telling or divinance that Esther received in her early years? Was it like a tarot reading, tea reading? What was it? And what was the destined fate for young Esther?
Which one do you want me to do first? Do you want me to say what
Who
Esther is,
you
or
are.
do you want me to? Okay, I'm not trusting of this sudden interest in her
Don't worry about it.
past.
It's fine.
So Esther's actually not that much of an oracle compared to some other people that she's worked with, like her sister. But she is kind of divination is kind of part of it, but it's not her major thing. So she is a changing, and she's a grave cleric specifically because her whole thing is she wants to help lost souls pass on if she can. That was kind of like her major thing when she was younger. And you asked what was her first sort of divine fate that she received?
Indeed. What was the very first thing? And what method of fortune telling was it?
Let me think. What method is good? I'm sorry.
That's right. There's a lot of really good ones. I am very partial to there's a Chinese method where you have like all these like little fortunes written on the end of like little bits of twigs, and then you shake them out, and then whichever one sort of becomes prominent, that's the fortune.
I was imagining something kind of like the well that isn't, but I was thinking of the where they have a baby pick
Ooh,
their like what their profession is going to be in the future by what they go
that's
to.
fantastic.
But
A actual ritual that has its origins in Korea, actually, where they used to lay out
Yeah.
3 different objects. I can't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but it was one would lead you to money, one
There's-
would lead you to passion, and one would lead you to I can't remember. I will look it up at some point, but
More pigs.
maybe. Okay. And what was the thing that drew Esther?
Oh, you want me to go with
Yeah,
that one? Okay.
yeah. We like that one.
Sorry.
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be the 3 things from the actual.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a lot tougher.
Oh, that's okay. You know, while you're
Um,
thinking about that, I've got to say this. I have noticed that a lot of parents right now are doing the exact same thing with Pokemon. So they're putting out like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander in front of their kids and seeing which one they like the best. I love that. I think that's absolutely adorable.
I guess it would be something similar to so I don't know tarot a lot, but the sun, I believe it is. I forget which one it is specifically, but there's one about joy and passion and successful journeys. But on its reverse, it's basically sorrow and grief and basically like despair. So it's 2 sides, and I believe it would be very 2 sided where it's something about a great passion or a great joy, but it comes out of grief. It comes out of great despair. And it's supposed, I'm guessing that whatever she picked, it would have been rather vague because they don't like her teacher doesn't like getting very specific with what the future is going to be. That's kind of what drove her to punish her sister for trying to do something like that.
All right. I believe, and I could be wrong about this, I believe it is the 1 of cup. The 1 cup. Maybe.
Maybe so. Oh, I know where to find it.
Ah.
1 second.
I'll tell you what, if you can find where it is during the course of the game, I will give you an inspiration. But nonetheless, that is the tarot that you have read. Now, guys, we have, of course, received our plot twists for the day, but that does not mean you cannot add more plot twists as we go along. They will be added through, and you guys currently have all of the plot twists as they have been listed, save for one, which I will put in right now. But, of course, we shall move things along as we return once again through the icy mists, down past the cold and biting forest, and into the lands of Barovia once more. When last we left our adventurers, they were journeying from the town of Barovia, where recently a ally to them, a woman by the name of Irina, the Burgomeister's young daughter, had been kidnapped by a vampire. This vampire spawn named Domu, son to the town's previous priest, had been transformed into a vile creature of the night. But before he was able to be dispatched, it managed to defeat both Vergag and its father and disappear into the night, only arriving later to attack and drag Irina from the safety of the city towards Strahd's castle. Now, with the aid of none other than their traveling companion, the Dread Rider, who you can see on the board now, they managed to travel with haste towards Strahd's castle. But there are some dangers that even the Dread Rider refuses to face. Leaving our adventurers just a short distance away from the castle gates, they begin to walk towards the stone structure that stands at the edge of a cliff face overlooking the town. Like a gnarled thorn digging into the night itself, the castle that lies before them seems to eep an ominous aura. But they are not alone in their endeavors, as another individual has made their acquaintance. A small gnomish paladin by the name of...
Tim.
Lancelin, thank you.
Tim.
Lancelin Tem. His name was Tim. Yes. Who has decided to accompany them out of a sense of duty and debt to the Burgomeister's family. It is here that we pick up our adventure, as the group makes their way towards the large, looming castle gates. All right. As you travel side by side, even though you seem to have been walking for quite some time, the castle never seems to get any closer. A cold sweat drips from your brow. Esther.
You can wait. I would just raise my hand for after if you want.
Oh, no, we're perfectly fine. Feel free to interject.
Finish first. I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Oh no, I was at the end. I was waiting for someone to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
So it doesn't look like it's getting any closer, right?
Right now, no. As you begin to walk forward, it almost looks like it's maintaining its distance. The soil under you still seems to move. You pass by the trees, you pass by rocks, you know. You are definitely moving forward, but the castle never seems to get any closer.
Esther's going to... Esther has a strange interpretation of what this might mean, but I can wait to see what y'all do first.
Magog's actually going to go up to Esther while we're walking. How are you holding up, Esther?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, this Barovia is very, very confusing to me as well. And, you know, it seems like we don't seem to be getting anywhere at the moment.
You're right. It doesn't look like it's getting closer. I think that's a optical illusion kind of thing.
Like a mirage?
She's not seem to be focusing on the implications of are you mentally okay? She's more focused on...
Yeah. They kind of look to where she's looking in.
Maybe it would help us get closer if I played some music.
Very well. Now, I don't have flute music, unfortunately, but... But...
Play the 1812 overture with all the...
Ba-da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And then suddenly these twigs snap behind you as something big moves into the shadows.
Troll arm!
Demira begins to play a soothing tune.
That's amazing. Nice job, Demiro. Seems to be calming warm. more of us as we move along, but it still doesn't
Yes.
seem to be any closer.
Yeah, Argento's sort of hanging behind everyone, chair, but something seems off in Argento's mind. He keeps looking behind us, just looking back like something doesn't seem right to me. And the pendant, for whatever reason, on my neck, I'm actually feeling it get cold, and it's weird. It's just a weird feeling I'm getting, but I've said nothing to the group, really, guys. It's more of an inner monologue I'm having there. You can tell I look a bit.
I'll place like a scrap of something like a rock down by the side of the path to see if we can watch that as we move.
Sure. You continue to move, and you can see the piece move into the distance. At this point, Lancelin speaks up.
You know, this place has always had a strange effect on people. Be sure to stay vigilant and close together. Do not stray from the path, for the road most traveled will take you to Strahd's castle, and if you vary in any way, you may find yourself lost. Even in this rather barren and bleak countryside, dangers lurk everywhere.
He begins to tell you a story.
Right.
Oh, I wish I didn't prepare this music, but I wish I had better music. I wish I had this is flashback music. All right. Now, once upon a time, in the lands of Barovia, there lived a humble onion farmer. This onion farmer would tend his fields, lived with his beautiful wife and daughter, and wanted for nothing except his simple life. However, one day, a traveler wandering up the road, weary and tired, sore, beaten, and broken, asked for help from the farmer. He said, Dear farmer, my arm has been injured. I was attacked by bandits. Please, do you have medicines for which I can tend my wounds? Well, the farmer, he did not have such supplies, for they were in short supply. He said, No, I do not. But please, lie on my bed, drink my water, and eat my food, for it is all that I have. The man accepted. He then said, humble farmer, the thirst, it does not quench. And the farmer says, Well, perhaps some of the wine that I've been saving. I would not offer it so readily, but you seem to be quite injured. Here, please, take and quench your thirst. He drank heartily from the bottle. And once again, the traveler said, I hunger, dear farmer, please. A scrap of bread is not enough. I need the strength to carry on. And the humble farmer said, Well, I am but an onion farmer. I do not have much beyond my onions. But the traveler did not like the farmer's offering. The next day, travelers returned to the farmlands to find the farmer, his wife, and daughter missing. And all they could hear amidst the wafting of the turnip plants, the onion plants, was the sound of crying. And some say even till today, the humble farmer sacrifice is the real reason why when one cuts into an onion, they shed tears. There you go.
That was brilliant.
Everyone can gain 1 inspiration point from the tale.
Ooh. That was brilliant, Sir Lancelin.
Yes, no, it was a tale told to me by my forebearers. It warns of the dangers of trusting strangers, and breaking routine can often lead to one's own demise.
Well, it is an apt warning. We're quite fortuitous that you just happened to be wandering by when you did and joined us at the spur of the moment.
Well, 'twas not a spur of the moment. You see, I I owe quite a debt to the former Burgermeister. It was he who actually put me on the right path. When I first arrived in Barovia, I thought myself doomed like the others. But yet the old Burgermeister always seemed to have a bit of fight left in him, and I always found it encouraging. It's what caused me to draw my sword and my shield. When I learnt of his death, I made haste as quick as I could, but alas, it seemed as though I were too late to offer any help. I know not what connected you to Irina and her brother, but nonetheless I am glad that I do not have to make this journey alone.
Well, we are connected, of course, as most people are, by a forged letter that we were found when we arrived in Barovia.
Yes. Yes, often trickery and deceit are the weapons of the villainous. But he will not have the opportunity to use them against us. We shall enter the castle and we will find Irina.
Yes. I must apologize too about last time, Tim. That was uncalled for, and I deeply, humbly apologize.
Yes, well, that is very noble of you, sir.
That is not something a sage would normally do.
You don't apologize to people? That seems very rude.
Well, no, I mean, it is something I do. I forgot myself for a second. This land.
Well,
so
rumor has it that the lands of Barovia change the very minds of people who stay here for too long. Perhaps your more chaotic natures tug and pull at your mind.
Possibly. The Goliath wizard, it's probably in nature of the Goliath.
All of a sudden, there is a swift flash of fur. As all of a sudden, a large canine creature leaps onto the road, snatching up Sir Lancelin in his mouth and darting off the road heading to the west. There is a very, very sharp roar as... one moment. Let me see if I can... Yeah. As DeViro stops. And...
he breaks a string.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, there's the sound of this canine suddenly bolting across the fen in front of the castle. All right, hold on, there we go. And
I can just see Strahd sitting up at the windows going to release the hounds.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. Oop, sorry, my bad. That was absolutely the wrong noise. Beautiful. All right. You can still hear the sounds of roar of the wolf in the distance.
What do we do?
We go after it.
He said not to leave the path.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Let's
He
say
did want us not to leave the path or we'd be lost.
I don't know.
Still, maybe the
Caution to the wind. I take off after Sir Tim.
maybe the wolf is following the path.
Yeah. Sir Tim! I yell and I take off
All right.
in that direction.
Oh gosh. All right. I guess we go with him.
All right.
Don't split.
All right. You begin to make your way. You
Still, wherever we're going, that surely is the path we're on. So how can we stray?
now, what I would like everyone to do is make a wisdom save, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, of course. You will.
Wisdom save? Okay. Hey, I have advantage on those.
Yeah.
Wait, why didn't it? Oh, I'm proficient, so I just have +2. Or I have extra. Wait. If I'm proficient in the wisdom save, shouldn't it be a plus? Like
It should add your proficiency bonus.
Is this against magic at all?
No, it is against a supernatural effect.
That is true. Okay. My wisdom normally is 10. It had the 3 because that is my proficiency. Okay. Makes sense now.
All right, fantastic.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. All right, so Esther, Argento, the two of you notice that as the wolf made its way away from the group, that it does not seem to leave any footprints. Nor did you hear the sound of Sir Lancelot's cries. Now, do you still leave the path?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I stop and I put my hand up to the side, sort of, and say, "Wait a second."
I kind of bump into him because I got kind of close, but I stopped. Ugh.
And I sort of listen out to see if I can hear any noises from Sir Tim or anything like that.
Yeah, make a perception check.
All right. It's not my strong suit. Oh.
Okay.
Would I be able to listen with him since I'm standing right next to him?
He seems to be looking for something actively.
Okay.
You do ask him about what he's perhaps looking for?
Yeah. Argento, what is it you're looking for? Are we going after Tim?
Yes, but I don't see any footprints. I don't see where it went. There's nothing here. There's no footprints. I don't hear Tim.
Esther.
I can't click for it.
Absolutely. You raise your hand into the air and then you flick your magic around. As it coalesces, you begin to gain some insight. Now, for this particular instance, as you cast clairvoyance, something strange happens to your spell. A window opens up, revealing the mist around you as an illusion. On the other side, you see everyone sort of standing, as you are in the same order that you're currently standing, with Sir Lancelot sort of trying to wave in front of you. He's sort of jumping up and shaking his hands. He's kind of pulling on Demiro's arms. And he's just beyond that mirror that you have now created for your clairvoyance.
That's pretty awesome.
That's an awesome spell.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Come to think of it, my weapon didn't give off any warning of a surprise, so...
What is mine? That's very good points.
Esther, what do you do with this information? If anything.
I don't know the others. I try to walk with.
Very well. Esther informs the others, telling them about the what she can see within the mirror. When you cast a spell, choose seeing or hearing. I will allow you to do both in this particular instance, as this is sort of breaking through the effect that is currently surrounding you. So, the sensor is basically not obstructed by the mists, or the effect that you're currently under. Vagag, as far as spells go, you recognize this as potentially being a type of supernatural effect known as mind fog. It was often used by the Goliath tribes as a means to go on spirit journeys. by inhaling this particular concoction of herbs and special chemicals, one was able to be given visions and the like. You believe that you're surrounded by this mind fog, and it has plagued your minds, with the exception of Esther and Argento, who are kind of shaking it off.
Gotcha. So do I know that they're not super affected, or I'm probably gonna just tell the group?
Well, you can kind of see that they're behaving a little bit more cautiously. Esther?
Gotcha.
So in voodoo tradition, what they usually do is, whenever they perform rituals, they, so it's sort of like a version of shamanism where they perform dances, they take substances, and they do things to enter a trance state. And one of the people in the ritual is possessed by a liwa. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've seen it say loa or lua, but would she recognize any traces of something like a shamanistic ritual?
Well, I would give you another inspiration point, because that is literally dead on. And
Nice.
yes, 100%. The four of you are currently in a trance, which, unfortunately, Sir Tem does not know how to break. But given that you have just revealed it, what I will allow you to do is you may make a, it is your choice, you can make a, either an Arcana check, a Insight check, I guess, Persuasion check if you want to try and break someone else out of this trance, or you can make a Wisdom check.
Which one would I believe connects me to whatever is trying to put us in this trance? Would I think this is something similar to a possession style ritual, or would I think this is something different?
It's probably a little bit different. It seems to be more natural, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you said, let me see. You said Arcana, Insight, or Persuasion?
Yes, if you want to convince someone else that this is a dream, you know.
Is it okay if I go with Insight and use my inspiration?
100%. All right, go for it. Now, if you look on the bottom left of Fantasy Grounds, you should be able to click on the advantage. Yep, cool. Make it so.
This is fog leakage.
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful. All right.
Very good.
Okay, so with your insight check, your eyes suddenly begin to adjust. You hear the sounds of Sir Tem. What? Wake up! Wake up! Oh, come on! Oh, God, this is not good. Wait, Esther? Esther, can you hear me?
Sorry, 1 second.
Nope,
Sorry.
fine.
I just say, yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what's happened to the others. They just suddenly stopped walking.
Something's trying to put us in a trance.
He
This is...
Oh, sorry, go on.
Go
He immediately raises his shield and sword. He starts to look around at the forests around.
I can't see anything. I don't know where they're coming from.
No, don't worry. This is not someone's doing. This is innate to them. This is something different.
So what do you think? What should we do? Should we carry them through this, out of it?
Let's see. I do think I have something. Just trying to find it again.
While this is happening, within the dream realm, Vigag, Argento, and Demiro, you hear the sounds of the wolf snarling and biting. It is, for the most part, what you can hear, tearing apart Sir Lancelin.
Oh God! It's got my kidney.
So Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Nope. So
I wanted to wait so that they could go first.
sure. All right. Vagag, Argento, Ramiro.
I grab Argento before he runs off,
Okay.
and I say,
About to.
I think we're under the influence of the spell. Don't go running anywhere. That's probably fake. But we're not out of this yet.
How far away is Tim and the wolf?
About 60 foot to the north, let's say.
But it's Tim
Yes, I
being
know,
killed.
but I know, but this has got to be something fake. And I'm not sure though. But you got to stay here for a sec.
Ah,
We have ways to heal
hmm.
him, just in case.
I just walk back and forth. Start walking back and forth, pacing.
If
Very nervous.
anything, try and intimidate the wolf to come over here. Try and get its attention. We'll fight it over here.
Interesting. I don't think. Oh, you said it's within 60 feet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second.
I'll cast a healing word on Tim.
Ah! You cast your healing word. As you speak it, the scripts of magic glow with bright illumination, and you watch as his wounds begin to stitch and heal. Argento?
Punch it in the face, Tim.
What?
Punch it in the face. He's got his weapon on him.
Take that! Take that, you overgrown throw pillow! Yeah!
Throw pillow. Yeah.
And if Argento's gonna try and get away from me, I'm going to try and hold him back. So grappling.
Hold me back.
Hold me back! Hold me back! Why'd you let me go? Look, I told you to hold me back. Hold me back. Hold me back. Hold me back.
Yeah. One of those.
If we don't want to leave the path, perhaps we could try using this grappling hook and rope and hooking the beast and reeling it back towards us and off Tim.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Here, doggy, doggy, doggy. All right. Very well. As you begin to prepare your hunting expedition, Esther.
So I can tell that this seems not a cast spell, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this probably won't work. But protection from evil good, you have to target a specific creature type. But if you do so, then you have advantage on wisdom saves if you're already possessed by them, or if you're charmed or frightened.
Mm-hmm.
So would I believe that would work, or would I think that would kind of be normal?
No, you believe that would work.
Okay, so one creature touch. So, all right. Which of you three do I like the most?
Awesome.
Well, for the purposes of this, and because I couldn't give you that inspiration from earlier, I will allow you to cast it on yourself. By doing so, as you link hands with everyone, you can draw them into your protection in a small way, small enough that will give them another saving throw.
Ooh.
Okay. Then I will try that. If that's
Sure.
okay.
Raising your hands up, you begin to conjure and cast your magics. A small glowing shield appears around you, and as it does, you reach out and place a hand on Vagag, Argento, and Demiro. As you do so, all three of you may make another wisdom save. This time at advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say I'm gonna use my inspiration now. Yes. Oh no.
All right, Demiro.
Oh no. Okay.
All right. So, Demiro, Vagag, and Argento are suddenly grabbed by wolves and dragged into the forest. Argento and Vagag, you, however, suddenly come to awaken. You can see Esther holding onto each of you, with a very worried-looking Sir Tem in front. And Demiro, you have no choice. You can't stay on the road. You're just prey at this point. What do you wish to do?
I will cast invisibility.
Very well. All of a sudden, Demiro goes invisible.
Oh, shit.
No.
All right.
And then I'll get out my crossbow and try to peg some of the wolves if I can.
All right. All three of you can make dexterity rolls as all of a sudden a series of crossbow bolts starts flying from the nothingness.
Oh no.
Oh no, Dex is not good.
Oh no.
Have we considered just slapping Demiro awake? I feel like we haven't suggested this yet, and I feel that's a shame.
I was thinking of it, but I wanted to see.
I was, yeah.
That's why he went
So
invisible.
dexterity.
No one's slapping me, coppers.
Yeah.
His like real body went invisible too. We're like, uh-oh, where'd he go? No!
All right. So,
Nice.
Demiro, would you please make me a crossbow attack against Argento and Vagag, please?
With pleasure.
With pleasure.
I mean, sorry guys.
This is his plan all along. He's just one.
All right, by the way, this wasn't
Yeah.
the original intention, by the way, because me and AK were talking about it, and it's like I was gonna have some have backstabbed work in a different way, but I want to point out I had no influence on this. Backstabbed. Backstabbed.
Good thing he did Argento first.
Yeah.
The thing is,
All right. Well, both of those miss. All right.
Barely
As they
miss.
do so.
The second. The
I
one
really
against.
don't.
Clips my ear.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Does invisibility dissipate when after you attack someone in D&D?
It does.
I
Okay.
think so.
Unless you have greater invisibility.
Okay, so Demiro is visible now. Esther, sorry, you were trying to say?
No, if lesser restoration, because lesser restoration would work because it says disease or condition, but I don't think he's blinded and deafened. I think this is something that would require different.
Does it specifically say condition?
It does.
If it
yeah.
does, then
Yes.
he actually has the mind-addled condition, so you can remove it if that's the case.
It says blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, though. So those
Okay,
four
then no, it won't.
specifically.
You can always try the good old-fashioned kashlappy.
Argento, tackle
I
him!
want to do.
This, I suppose technically
You knocked a scale off.
attack.
I'm just.
You know, why don't we go all out and just cast
with
a
advantage.
3rd level spell on him? You know,
Yeah.
a damaging spell.
Yeah.
If this doesn't wake you up, nothing
Demiro,
will.
cast a spell. I mean, I'll counter spell and make it root. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
That's not a counter spell. That's not how that works.
Okay, guys. Who are... Y'all go first.
All
y'all
right.
go first.
Anyone who wishes to make an attack against Demiro.
I'm going to make a smack him.
We all do it at once.
That's it. It's like the scene from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, where, like 4 of them are like just kicking the crap out of this random dude.
And then Thames joins
then
in.
Tim
Like
Tim
Tim
joins in. Like has to finish off with wine and then just.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the
Well, Vagog, you missed.
high school
This is so fun.
films where they're like,
I didn't guess me. Wait,
kicking them and you can tell they're faking you.
All right. So Vagog, Argento, Esther, make your attacks. Blame the Austrian. I started 2 World Wars. We're used to it. AK.
What am I attacking him with? I don't.
I think it's strength.
That's up to you.
I'm just slapping him with
Okay.
the strength.
So open hand.
No!
Oh, you like totally missed.
Vagog, can you make an attack against Argento?
Oh god.
That's probably gonna miss anyway.
Okay, so
Like
Unless you get a
3
crit.
series right now.
I guess it'd be strength though, because that's what
Esther?
I was doing. So that's not gonna hit him.
I was just trying to figure out how do I do. So open hand attack specifically. again?
Oh, just roll a strength check because you wouldn't be proficient in unarmed strikes.
Oh, yeah. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure.
I just smack Argento and it goes ding.
Yeah.
Oh, my hand.
Oh!
Whoa!
Nice.
Wow!
I don't know if this is a thing in Louisiana, but I know one thing that Australian, Asians, and Spanish people have in common is grandmothers who use slippers to like. Yeah. Basically, in Spanish, it's the chancla. In Asia, it's the slipper. In Australia, it's the thong. Whatever the reason is, no one ever forgets the first time your grandma whacks you with one of these. And I imagine that's the same kind of feeling of very primal, nostalgic pain that suddenly comes across Demira's face as Esther whams.
Slaps him with the sandal in the shoulder.
We don't have that. We do have something very interesting though. So you get a reed. The parents tell you to pick the reed, and the kids go for the short one. The long one. So you pick your own punishment, and you're like, oh, the short one's going to be much less worse. It's much worse.
Good to know. I'll remember that next time someone's beating me with reeds.
No, yeah.
Also, fun fact, that's a whole Krampus story as well, but we won't go into it. All right. So, Demiro, I need you to make me a will save.
And 1 point of damage.
That's fine. All right. Your eyes begin to adjust, and as they do, you suddenly find the view coming crystal clear. Once again, you find yourself on the road. The others, sort of circled around you. Esther, having just freshly slapped you, you kind of feel sharp stinging in your cheek.
My hand just...
And I would like to thank our plot twist number 33 for sanity check.
Ooh.
Bum, 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 bum. There you go.
You owe me a scale. You chipped my scale a minute ago.
Me?
Satyrs. No.
Oh, you...
Arrow.
That's
Shot me
right.
with an arrow.
That was when I slapped you and hurt myself. I tripped a skull. I was like, what?
Sorry. Shot through the heart.
Huh. Looks like I took care of those wolves.
Nice work.
All right.
Okay, guys, it looks safe to go now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tie ropes to each other.
It's like that scene from Riddick. Looks clear. How does it look now? Looks clear. All right. Let us continue. Here we go. Aha, perfect. Now, you continue to make your way, following the road as closely as you can. Now that you have made your way through the mists, you can see yourself arriving at the gates to Castle Ravenloft. You arrive at the front courtyard, where a thick fog swirls around you. Sporadic flashes of lightning crash overhead. Which... aha. There we go. Nice. Pretty. All right. Rain begins to drizzle down, and your torches splutter. In front of you, you could see the large main doors behind what looks to be a portcullis that separates you. High above the entrance that you are at, you can see a series of tall windows. Shards of broken glass seem to be lodged into the iron frame. Weary, old, worn. It is here in the outer gate that we now share, boop, our first map.
Whoa.
All right. So, the first thing you approach is what looks to be a small bridge that crosses over to Strahd's castle.
Well, we're here. This isn't ominous at all.
What do you think, Esther?
I had wanted to just ask something first, if I
Sure.
may. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. So, sorry, one second. There it is. I had cast sending to Irina, and I wasn't sure if we had taken a long rest in between that casting. I just wasn't sure.
Yes, you have taken a long rest since then.
Okay, then I do have one third level slot left. That's good. That's very good. Okay, and I think I know what I'm going to do. But sorry, let me get the maps all straight.
I need to get my spell slots all good too.
All right.
Okay.
For those of you who are looking, on map 2, I will draw just a quick X where you guys currently are.
Okay.
So, Argentina, you had asked Esther what she thinks.
Yes.
And let me think.
Should we just walk across the bridge? Or should we check it out first?
I shall walk to the beginning, and I'm just going to put my hand on the bridge. Test for illusion.
All right. Vagag, you begin to make your way over to the wooden bridge. It seems to be old and has been left down for many years. Moss and grass have grown over the lip, probably obstructing it from ever being raised again. As you do so, you feel the hard wood beneath you. When suddenly, ah! A visitor is what we see. Ah! A crow, sitting atop what looks to be a large scarecrow, addresses you. Its ruffled feathers are kind of mangy and matted. It kind of plucks out a few molting feathers and spits them to the ground as it looks down at the Goliath. Ah! It crawls on the floor. It knows its place. Ah!
I look behind, just kind of motion everyone forward. And then I stand up and look to the crow. Are you this gatekeeper?
Ah, gatekeeper! Gatekeeper! Ah! We are no such thing. This house has only one master. Ah! One keeper. Ah!
Then who am I speaking to?
Who? Ah! We are not an owl. Ah! Stop asking us who. Ah! It seems to get angry and,
Fine,
and
what am I
flaps its
speaking
wings quite violently towards you.
What is your name?
Ah, a name. A name, it asks. Ah, its name is Nevermore. Nevermore. Ah, is its name.
Nice. Edgar Allan Poe.
There isn't like a giant X on the road or something, is there, where we're...
No. But that just happens to be where you are.
Right.
So what is it you do here, Nevermore?
Ah,
Like, are you just here watching?
cleaning. Cleaning is what what Nevermore does.
Cleaning, like
It
the
means cleaning
keeper?
bodies.
The one with horns is right. Clever it is. The smart one it must be.
I just looked at the mirror. I'm like, do you want to talk to it? You seem to.
Well,
have a better look than I do.
I don't make it a habit of talking with crows, but sure, what would you like to ask it?
What does it know of the master of this castle?
Say crow or raven, fellow bird creature,
Fellow.
imbued with magic and the ability to talk. What would have been the most interesting thing you've seen recently?
It assumes that one has been blessed with the ability to talk. Rather than you
Okay.
have been blessed with the ability to listen.
I see how this is. Okay. What have you seen recently before me come in here? Have you seen a young man and an older woman coming in?
Young man? Young man. Young man. Na, 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 na.
He starts bobbing his
Oh! Yes. The young man and the sleeping princess. They are here, yes.
Yes.
Arrived not too long ago, they did. Yes.
How long ago?
Within a day.
We're not too far behind.
One might
Is
even
there-
think that this crow is simply here to distract us.
Yes.
Thank you for your information, Crow. Or Nevermore. Sorry. Is there a special passage that I need to get inside, or may I just go?
Oh, it wishes to be inside. Well, across the bridge and through the gates resides the house of the master. But be warned, for if you make it out alive, make sure that you take your final looks upon this land, for they will certainly be your last. And the only person who will see you from whence you came will be Nevermore, as he feasts upon your brain.
Wise.
Oh, I look forward to seeing you then, Nevermore.
The crow begins to laugh and cackle. Esther.
Wait, but I had wanted to answer Argento a while back.
Oh, by all means.
It can wait.
Nope, that's it. Nevermore is
Hmm.
done. He takes flight from his perch
He
atop
is
the
Nevermore.
scarecrow and flies into the night. Argento, what was your question from earlier?
I asked what she thought we should do here. Should we just walk in, or should we wait for some sort of invitation? What should we do?
I had wanted to ask the Raven something, but I didn't want to interrupt you all. But sorry.
Good.
Let me find something real quick, actually.
As I was going to say, I remember Esther saying something about before we enter, she wanted us to proceed with caution before we just. She doesn't want us just barging across this bridge as uninvited guests, if I remember.
Yes, well, some say that one does not simply walk up to Strahd's door.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay. I was just trying to find it. I'm sorry, I'm taking so
No, that's
long.
okay. You're looking for a spell?
Well, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Allow me to describe the bridge a little bit more while you're doing that. So the bridge, as I mentioned, is very heavy, very worn. Now, it looks as though it is attached to two very large chains, meaning that potentially it should be able to be lifted, raised, and lowered. However, it has been lowered for such a long period of time that the surrounding grasses and moss and the like have overgrown into the areas that touch to the ground. Even the chains that attach by links have some of this growth on it. It looks as though Strahd has never really denied entrance to his castle, if that makes sense. It looks as though he's always had this bridge down. And flanking either side, you can see 2 quite large towers with ramparts atop it. Again, there does not seem to be any kind of... Well, sorry, you haven't looked at it properly, but looking at it properly, you see that there are no doors to these ramparts. They just seem to be these really tall towers.
Maybe we just go and knock. That was the original plan.
Sorry, there was something I'd wanted to say if I
You may.
Okay. Just 1 second. Actually, something about that story of the farmer remind me of something. My teacher had to often house unsavory guests, those wanting hexes and curses placed on others. And you had to learn quite quickly how to deal with unwanted guests. We should at least try to make ourselves wanted first. And, well, I was trying to, I lost the words, but let me, 1 second. What was it exactly? Even if his door is open, I don't think you would usually enter someone's house just because the door's open. That's... unless... So, we seem to be guests in this land. However, the rules of this land's hospitality may be very different from ones that we know. We might not have the prerogatives that we would enjoy. Perhaps we should enter on the pretense of wanting to understand, wanting to know more. If we can ask for entrance, we will have at least some safety in shop.
I have an idea then. You've met Strahd. We've met Strahd before, right? You have sending.
That's my plan.
I just smile. I reach into my bag of holding. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I reach into my bag of holding and pull out a mirror about like 3 feet wide, and I hold it in front. We could always speak to him through this.
She's like, you hold it to me, like, here you go.
He's just holding it, like. If he wants to speak to us in person after you do the sending, he could, or even without using sending, if he can see us and hear us through these mirrors, you know, you could always ask him through this.
I'll knock on the mirror.
You wrap along the smooth surface of the mirror. Looking within, you see your own reflection and nothing more.
I want to say
Nope. What was that, Esther?
I had wanted to use sending specifically as, although most sometimes house guests prefer you don't bring gifts as they would be obliged to accept them. Using a spell specifically could be seen as me offering a gift of, okay, I'm giving up one of my resources for this contact.
That makes sense. Okay.
So instead of just
The
trying
guy
to contact
understands and puts the mirror back in the bag. So
if y'all
that is a
if
very
y'all
good
like
plan.
it.
That is a very good plan, Esther.
Although I believe we should act quickly, or else we may be asked to leave for loitering. So
Should we all do it? Like, should I also?
we all a group sending.
Yeah, just each one of us cast some kind of
All
spell.
As you
We want to get fined and trespassing.
as you prepare to cast your spell, you hear Sir Tem say,
Someone is coming. On the bridge. There. Look.
he points towards the end of the bridge, where hobbling over appears to be a small man dressed in a butler's suit. a hideous Quasimodo of human appendages, short in stature, and with a large sort of weeping eye.
Good evening. It appears as though you have come to speak with the master. What business have travelers in this place?
Yes, good evening. We indeed have come to speak with Strahd. And we've come because we seek an audience to discuss the matter of the Burgermeister's daughter.
Yes, the Lady Irene.
You know of her?
She's well known in these parts. Very well. Step quietly. The master is at rest and does not wish to be disturbed, but you may wait for him in the parlor.
He turns
Very kind.
and holds a lantern up and begins to make his way forward across the bridge, swaying from left to right. There's an almost hypnotic cadence to the way he walks. As he does so, Argento, you notice something very peculiar about this man. As he is walking, his ear falls off. He does not seem to notice and continues to walk.
I look over to Esther, who's next to me, and I just say to her, "Did you see that?"
Did I see it?
If Argento points it out, yes, you do.
Well, he'll probably be wanting that back. There's something. So the Raven, the Raven said that we had the ability, not that he had not the ability to speak, but us the ability to listen, right? Okay. Then I probably couldn't consider. Then I probably couldn't consider that something I can change my voice to replicate. Then I probably haven't met Kenku. Then I wouldn't know how to imitate cawing. But I just wanted to check. If it was a speaking creature, then perhaps I could have replicated it. But if it's just hearing, then I can't. Just wanted to check. Sorry.
Does anyone want to do anything about the ear, or are you just gonna kind of let it slide?
May I?
It's just those two that know about it.
Esther, you had said something you wanted to throw out?
You can wait.
Can it wait?
Yes.
Very well.
So, what's the order we're walking? Am I in front of Demiro, and are we in front?
I imagine that Argento and Sir Tem are in front, followed by Vigag, Demiro, and Esther kind of behind.
So then I'll sort of look back at the rest of the group and sort of point to it on the ground, and like motion and word to them.
Oh. I'll pick it up and talk into it. You seem to have got something.
He turns for a moment, and as he does, he says,
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Does that happen often, mate?
Yes. Many things in this house are coming apart.
as he pockets it for the time being with a kind of a slurp into his jacket. All right. Now, as you make your way across the courtyard, he leads you... Actually, he'll lead you the other way. He'll lead you to the right. Eventually you come to a massive wall that juts out to connect the outer walls to the castle keep itself. A 20-foot wide passageway offers an arch entrance into the building beyond, but is blocked by what looks to be a rusted iron portcullis. The man walks, and as he does, he whispers something into the breeze. And the door as the portcullis rises, providing access. He guides you inside. This way. As he leads you into the servants' courtyard. The courtyard here, around the northeast, is enclosed by towering walls and a stone carriage house with its hinges kind of swaying and clattering in the wind. Across from the carriage, a slender wooden door, reinforced with iron bands, leads into the keep itself. Master is at rest, as I mentioned. I must still prepare. Feel free to look about the courtyard as I make the necessary arrangements.
Too kind.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Using the servant's key, he opens the door. Yes?
But before he leaves, may I ask him?
Yes. He rattles the key at the door, and as he does so, you say to him,
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Sir, may I ask you one thing before you go?
But of course.
May I extend my hand for a handshake, if that's okay? Or would you rather not? I'm asking you.
Oh. Wait, are you asking Michael or are you asking him?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Michael says yes, you can ask him for a handshake. That's perfectly fine.
I wanted to make sure first.
No, perfectly fine.
Sorry.
Yep, go ahead. Scene is yours.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't feel great. It's in my handshake. May we know your name?
He stretches his hand forward and he says, My name is Cyrus Bellevue. And as he stretches to touch your hand, there's almost a suppleness, a tenderness to his hand. It is very, very awkward.
Gushy.
Yeah. It's basically as you touch it, there's kind of almost a sloshing, as it were. Let me just pull up a picture of him. There you go.
Oh, I can't see. I was trying. There.
Whoa.
It won't load right there.
Nice.
Oh, I like it. Look, he has 1 feet. Look at that foot. Oh, that's cool. I like this.
Yeah. this is
One
nice.
web foot.
One, just one.
Yeah.
One more thing before you go.
Yes.
Could we see Irina? Could we speak with her?
I'm afraid Mrs. Irina is indisposed at the moment. Do not worry. You shan't be waiting long.
Lantern. Sorry. Aster's just kind of looking at the lantern, but doesn't really say anything.
All right. He will then enter. All right. Let's get rid of the map. We don't need it at the moment. Boop. All right.
So they arrived about a day ago. How long did it take for people to turn into vampires?
6 hours.
Yeah, about that. 6 to 8 hours.
Something's definitely not right. Feels strange. I grabbed the pendant on my chest that's starting to hurt again.
While
Wait.
while we're waiting, Bagag is going to go sit at, if there's a desk nearby or like a table, Would there be like a table nearby, or?
Yes, you can see
Something like
outside of the
that.
stables there appears to be a sitting area with it's almost like a picnic bench. You've got two long benches made of wood, and then connected to them is a tabletop that seems to have a variety of rusted, old, and worn, sort of horse tending gear.
So I'm gonna take out my cartographer tools and like a sheet of paper and try to copy what we've seen from the first floor so far.
Okay.
Kind of like basically create a map of where we've walked so far.
Sure. Very well.
I'm gonna try to make a map for the future. So if anyone else wants to has never been in this castle before, we can kind of show them. So where we've been. So yeah.
Yep, not a problem. Okay, now you guys are free to explore, if you would like. There's of course the there is of course the doorway to the servants' quarters that you can see there, a doorway into the stables which you can see, and you saw the main front entrances on your way in. He brought you left of them and around the castle keep. But if you were to head back the way you came, you would have been able to see and enter via the front entrance.
Okay.
I don't know if we could see it, but there's a little area right under the second bridge. Right under the second bridge. I'm just looking at it. I do have my slippers of spider climbing. I could technically get down there. Went to inspect weird place number 15.
That's true. That's true. You could get around. All right. The scene is yours to discuss what you will. The next move, I guess, in this game of cat and mouse comes to our players. What will they do? How will they proceed? Will Vagag die?
Again.
The answer to everything is yes.
Can I take out the Taroko deck?
Absolutely. You reach into your pocket and you pull out your Taroko deck.
Okay. I don't think I want to look for a fortune quite yet, but I want to sort of almost practice the hand movements that I saw Madame Uno using whenever she gives our fortunes. Sort of how to handle the deck, I guess. How to shuffle the cards, if that's something that she did or anything like
Sure.
that.
All right.
Are any of the doors open?
Yeah.
Let's see. Did that do anything? Was I supposed to do anything? Let me try that again. No. Okay, cool. That doesn't do anything. Apologies. Fantasy Grounds just being weird. All right. You basically pull out a reading the same way that you saw Madame Una did it, and it pulls out the Two of Stars, the Diviner. Look to the one who sees all. The treasure is hidden in her camp.
I had not meant to pull out a fortune, but okay.
No, it's not. It's a sort of, this is just how you've shuffled it and been like, oh, this is what we do. Yeah. So you haven't done the fortune. It's just that is what your card has pulled up.
It's one of the cards that just fell out.
Yeah. The three places you can explore are the main entrance, the servants' quarters, and the stables. You believe that the servants' entrance might be locked because you saw him obviously use a key to open it. You're not sure about the main entrance or the stables.
I want to check the door that he went through to see if it was locked.
It is not locked.
So I look at the group and say, is it just me, or did it appear that he locked this door?
It appeared he unlocked the door and then went through.
He never locked it back. Can we open it?
Suggesting... Oh.
Did say we're free to explore.
I want to see inside. See where he went.
All right. You turn.
I don't want to go in. I just want to open the door and see looking.
You open the door, and inside.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Let's see.
Whoa.
I will now share the map once I move my
Yes, good thing.
characters around real quick. Hold the door.
Hold the door.
All right.
Hold door.
It is isometric map time. Which I'm not accustomed to
So,
in the slightest, by the way.
What were you gonna say, Neil?
What?
You were gonna say something. You were gonna say something before.
I
opened the
just-
door.
I was just gonna say you're not doing what I think you're gonna do, are you?
All right.
Maybe.
As you open the
We
door
have
to the
to.
servants' quarters, inside dim lights flicker through a dust-caked window in the east. A door next to the window leads to the castle's northern east courtyard, which is where you are. Everything in this room is coated in a thick layer of dust, including a large, heavy table in the center of the floor. A thick book lies open, an inkwell and quill next to it. There is a broken door to the north, and a staircase in the south plunging deep into the darkness. On each side of the staircase, a skeletal figure draped in gleaming chainmail stands at sagging attention, holding a rusty halberd.
I'll walk inside.
I hold his arm quick. Before you go in, we have to do one thing first. I turn to Esther and I say, I picked this up when we were at the witch's hut. I don't know if you were upstairs when this happened. Was she upstairs when the witch got her hand cut off?
I think so.
You didn't come upstairs with us.
Yeah, I don't think she ever came upstairs.
Okay, so yeah. When Morganis came up, she cut one of the witch's hands off because she told her not to mess with us for some apparent reason. I quickly was able to grab the hand and the knife she was holding. I don't seem to have found a use for it, but I think maybe you would be able to find a use more than I could. And I'm going to hold out the knife to her, like in my hands, kind of like this. You might need this going in. Maybe not, but just in case. I still don't know what it does. I haven't been able to figure it out.
All right.
I figured maybe you had some favor with them, so maybe you'd be able to find out something about this. And then I hand it to her.
All right, Esther, you receive a witch knife and the hand of a desiccated witch. All right. Argento, you make your way through the door. As mentioned, there is a stairwell leading down, being flanked by two skeletons in chainmail, and behind you a door.
So there's actually skeletons there, not statues.
They look like skeletons. Bonafide, bony skeletons.
I'm back. Something was happening with our washing machine. What happened?
It's okay. Argento's walked in
Oh!
and has died. No, I'm joking. He hasn't died.
And I gave you the coven knife and the witch's hand.
I was expecting that, but then you present the hand, and I'm like,
Well, first present the knife, but the hand comes kind of with it. It just, I
I
don't know.
don't think it has to.
Okay, I keep the hand then, but I'll get rid of it when we're not in a castle of death. So, but I hand you the knife nonetheless. You might be able to find a better way to use it than I can even figure out how to even see if it can be used. So,
Okay.
a wizard's intuition. I don't know.
I walk over to the table where the book and ink is,
Mm-hmm.
and I just look at it. I don't want to touch it. I just want to look at it. Can I see anything? Is anything?
Oh, I can do.
Is the book open? Is it? Can I open it or?
The book before you is an ancient and weathered book. It lies open in front of you. It is brittle,
Yeah.
but the ink in the well next to it is still fresh. At the top of each of the page is scribed the message, "Please register for your own convenience, and that of your next of kin." The book is more than half filled with the names, with various names, most of which are now illegible.
Can I make out the last name that was entered?
The last name would be Domu.
Oh,
Have we heard that name?
not Dormu.
Sorry, Domu is what I meant. I misspoke.
Oh, no. Okay, so it's the Dormu that. Well,
Yeah.
I guess. How many Dormus are there? So I want to call everyone in and tell them to come inside. I want to show them something. But I go back to the door basically and say, "Come here."
All right. Do you all follow?
I do, but before I go in, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Are you sure? You don't have to.
I do.
Okay. Very well. All right.
So I show them the book and say, look here, Dormu's here.
Do you
Or at
tap on
least-
the book?
No, I just point to it.
All right. Just checking.
No.
Just checking. All right. So
Yeah. Does it say his next of kin? Does it actually have who he's?
it does not.
Okay, so just Dormu.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take a look at it and flip through it. So.
Okay.
But I'll go back to the page after I'm done looking at it. So
Got me curious now.
There's a registrar book in the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
there's a what book in the servants' corner?
Registrar. That may not be the right word, but like registering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. What do you guys make of this?
Well, seems like no one's been here for a while.
If there's a library in this place, other than the what did you call it, Esther? The register.
Registrar. Yep.
I might be able to find out about something that's here about what's going on here. If they've got a library and if Strahd has some information on it, I should be able to find something we need to know.
So there's the stair. So all there is in this room is this table and this book, and then the stairwell and two doors. Is that correct?
Correct. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and the skeletons, I think.
I'll ask one of the skeletons if there's a library. Excuse me, young sir. Is there a library around here?
As you do so, both skeletons immediately look at you. And they say, in a clattery, rattly, but wispy voice, they say, hang on, let me just...
They pull out their saxophones and wear their giant hats, and they say, "My name is." No. Yeah, it's been a while.
Intruders. Us into the realm of our master.
We were invited.
And with that, we will roll initiative.
Nah.
All right.
All right.
So, let's see.
Asymmetric map is awesome.
It is very cool, but
It's
also
still a
very,
map.
very disorienting
Yeah,
for me because I've never used them before. This is actually
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. I dig it.
I'm more used to top down, but with this, you can still get like how they're kind of positioned, and
All right.
that's kind of cool. There's one right next to me.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Ooh.
I was 6 to the
Just
table.
a quick question. So, Tim brought it up before about the weapon of warning. It says we get advantage on initiative rolls if we have a weapon of warning.
Yes, indeed.
I think that's for you, right?
Well, Tim has it now too. He got a weapon of warning as well.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. The
guys
question
won't get
is,
advantage.
yeah, there's no way they rolled that. So you guys can roll initiative again because you have weapons of warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just do it like that, right? Rather than saying you can roll with advantage, I'll let the program automatically roll it, and then if you don't like them, you can roll them again. So both of you manually roll your initiatives right now.
Okay.
Is that abilities or
If you go into your main page,
Yeah. is it the same?
between your AC and your speed.
Ah,
So
yeah.
If they roll the initiative,
Sucks.
does it add them to the combat tracker?
Correct.
automatically?
It will.
It's
It will
just
automatically
something I
change it.
don't worry.
All right. So
That's cool.
it starts off
Still
with
wrong.
the skeletons.
Yeah, kills first.
The skeletons both simultaneously shing, draw these long blades out, and as Domiro, was it Domiro? No, it was Argento. No, it was Vigag. What am I saying?
I was
Yeah.
by the book.
As
so.
Vigag speaks to them, the first one will swing, land
Oh gosh.
land a blow,
Ah.
dealing 4 points of damage. The second skeleton
Jeez.
will swing at Argento, swing, but will miss as it bounces off the armor of Argento. Vigag, it is your turn.
All right. Why did I forget what that's called? I'm backstepping. Whatever the Why is it blanking on me?
Guided stuff?
What?
Guided stuff, is that what you're doing?
Basically, yeah, but it's the full movement. that I
Withdraw.
get without just as. Withdrawing. I forgot. Why did I forget what it was called? But yeah, I'm backing up. So as my action, disengage.
Sure.
Think in mind.
Very well. All right, where are you disengaging to?
I'm gonna get too near Esther in the back. Oh, too small. So disengage to like back here. Oops.
Yeah, that is roughly to scale now.
He's still tiny.
Okay. So, all right. So, Vigag, you full withdraw as you make your way pushing towards the back. We then go to Sir Lancelin, who says,
What ho! Foul creatures born from the grave, I shall return thee from whence thy came. Have at you! I said, have at you. Ah, yes, I am a PC character, so I need to roll these manually. Hwah! Oh no! Cursed
Uh-oh.
and forebodance, I have missed my valiant swing. I will get you next time, heathen.
Demiro, it is your turn.
Uh,
Super angry, so he's jumping around.
Yeah.
is disarm such a thing in this?
Yeah, absolutely. You would need to make an opposed
I think it's
athletics
like
check to
combat
try and
maneuver,
remove
yeah.
the weapon from them.
Okay. They say there seems to be some mistake as we were invited in, and I'll try and disarm it. So do I just
As you
roll and
cut
then
its arm
roll,
off.
or do I roll on it? Let's roll.
It's a high roll.
Very
Nice.
good. All right, let's see how he makes his athletics check. In retaliation, he does not. You grab onto his hand, you wrench and you pull, you wrench and you pull, and you pull the sword clean free from the hand of the skeleton.
Nice job, Demiro. No one.
All right, next up was Esther.
Okay, so I wouldn't have any way to tell, but I have a suspicion that they're technical because our names aren't in the book, and so they are inclined to believe that is an intrusion, but I can't be sure. So let's see. Okay, let's see what I can do. Sorry, Intens. Let's see, where is it? May I cast protection from evil and good on? Sorry, I have to walk up. This is a touch on Sertan. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Then I would like to do that. I had a question. I may not use it yet, but what does a hero point do exactly?
Now, a hero point is a very
I think you
special
can-
type of point, which you can use to either give yourself advantage or disadvantage in the same. Advantage, not disadvantage. You can give yourself advantage, much like an inspiration point. It can also be used to stave off a death blow. So if you are rendered unconscious or killed, rather than doing so, spending a hero point will revive you at 1 hit point. In addition, if you wish to, you may use a hero point to petition the GM for something a little bit more cinematic, if that is something that sounds cool and reasonable.
Just want to make sure.
No,
Sorry.
fine. It's basically a point of awesomeness for good roleplay and the like.
Then I can save it for later if you'd like.
If you've got an idea, go for it. I mean, I hope to give you more and more and more hero points as we go on, so... and you can only have a maximum of 3 of them stored at any one time.
Okay. Then I can save it for next turn if you want, because it's hard to word, but I can wait.
Sure. All right. Well, what would you like to do this turn? You've moved up. Anything else?
I cast protection from evil and good on Sir too.
Oh, yes. Oh, right. Of course. My apologies. Yes. All right. Also, to answer AK's question, are hero points a D&D thing, or did I import them from Pathfinder? I absolutely imported them from Pathfinder. Mostly because I like the idea of roleplay rewards. I like rewarding my players for being clever, coming up with something witty, doing stuff that entertains me, because I feel like that's not a main thing I require from my players. Like, I don't expect, my players must entertain me. But when they do, when they genuinely give me something, like, awesome that I love, I just 100% give hero points to people. Just because I think, it's my version of appreciation. Okay. Argento.
Yes. All right. So the skeleton closest to the Miro and all, I would like to cast my vow of enmity on it, which allows me to get advantage on all attack rolls against it.
Ooh.
So I have to show him my holy symbol and utter my vow at him. And that's a bonus action. So with the first attack, I know I'll swing my warhammer at him.
Very well. Make your attack as you swing your warhammer.
Advantage. Let's see.
Oh, a solid crash into the skeletal form. It shatters into a million pieces and crumbles to the ground.
So with my next action, am I'm close enough to attack the other one, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll attack it with my warhammer now.
All right. With your second action, you continue that momentum, swinging over your head, bringing it down to bear.
It.
Oof. 5 points of damage. A still sizable blow, but not enough to finish him.
It did 10 damage, actually.
Yeah, it did 10 damage because they are vulnerable to bludgeoning weapons. Realizing that Argento poses a threat, the last one lunges, attempting to slash. And Argento, you get a free attack on him.
Nice.
As it lunges
The
and leaps
warhammer?
forward.
So roll my attack.
That'll hit.
Nice.
Bam!
Oh!
As you hit it in the jaw for 24 damage, its entire head turns to dust, and it slumps to the ground as our skeletons are defeated.
Yeah. So as I stand there, sort of still in the pose of having struck him, I stand upright and look at Esther and say, "So should we sign the book now?"
And with those final quippish words, the bodies of the skeletons lying motionless, but the stones and the windows and the corridors of the castle of Ravenloft as dead and quiet as the bones that now lie at Argento's feet. We will end today's session, returning next time as they continue their exploration of Strahd's castle in search for the lovely Irina, and while avoiding none other than the visionary himself, the terrifying and frightful Strahd. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining us today. Thank you, of course, to my wonderful players for today's session. I had, again, a lot of fun. We had some pretty cool encounters there, including, of course, the stuff in the mist, as well as the encounter with the skeletons. So that was very, very cool and very awesome. So thank you guys for that. Now, guys, we are going to again finish on memorable moments for today. Your most memorable moment of today's stream. In addition, guys, if you guys in the audience have any questions for myself or the players, throw it up in chat. I will get to them so that we can answer them before we move on to raid another channel. Very big thank you for the bits, Hester. Now, guys, if you, like Hester, are one of those people who donate to the stream through bits and stuff like that, you are an absolutely bloody wonderful person. Tastrio, you are a bloody wonderful person, and I wish you guys nothing but the most awesome of dice rolls from now until we meet again. Honestly, guys, anyone who does donate to the channel and help do stuff like this helps, like with these wonderful people, help me keep the lights on, help me do some awesome things. And of course, you know, like, even if you're here just to be here as part of the audience, we super appreciate you because, you know, having every single person here also makes a massive difference to every single game. So thank you in advance for all of that. Now, questions for the players. And of course, now let's go into the players and let's find out what their most memorable moment is. Let's start with Esther. Esther, what was your most memorable moment from today's session?
Hi. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Would you like us to come back? We'll come back. Neil, what was your most memorable moment?
I definitely enjoyed all the role playing between the other characters. That was definitely something that Rugag needed to, bring up by giving Esther the knife finally, by being able to stop Argento from running off into the forest, even though his body was probably still there, but his mind was off elsewhere. Definitely, like us traveling down the road with DeMiro playing his what instrument again? Is it a flute or a lute?
I have many instruments.
He's a master of many instruments.
We just went to a shop. You got them all now. But yeah, that was definitely enjoyable. Yeah, a lot of the role play, the fighting or the whole the will save spell, like natural spell going on. That was pretty cool. I like that. And also Nevermore. I can't wait till he tries to kill us.
He's just a crow, man. Calm down.
Dude, have you seen what they can do? No.
Argento.
Yeah, look, good round. I think leading into Ravenloft is a bit. I don't know how the rest of the group feels, but obviously it's it's hard not to know that there's something different about this place. So just the whole journey in, and then what happened to us all in sort of the beginning, and then DeMiro having a go at us, having a shot at us, and then we had that moment of the Three Stooges where Neil tries to slap him and hits me, and we have that whole sort of Three Stooges moment, which I really enjoyed that though. It was cool to see DeMiro have that role playing where he was like, oh, I'm going to go invisible. That actually was the worst thing he could do because then we couldn't see him anymore, and it was great. No, that's what I loved about it. I guess to echo Neil a little bit, the role playing, but that was a pretty cool moment in the beginning, and just this sort of leading up to Ravenloft, like what's happening, why are we all under this trance, under this spell? That's never really been something we've had to deal with. So I think it was pretty fun, pretty interesting. Good way to start it.
Oh, fantastic. Tim?
Yeah, I think my favorite part was whatever you do, don't leave the path, for you surely become lost. Leave the path.
Yeah. Take off.
It was a very sudden turn.
Well, it was a pretty obvious, I don't know, from a player's point of view, a fairly obvious trap.
Oh yeah.
Cast his expedition.
Just a
retreat.
little
I use
obvious.
all my movement to go
Tiny
90
bit
feet.
But it was made for quite a fun entrance to Castle Ravenloft with the obligatory raven out the front.
Yeah.
Come here, you try speaking to it. I can't. It just wants me to listen. Oh, right.
I'm just wondering when the servant's going to come back and just like piece the skeletons back together.
Yeah.
Oh, they've fallen apart again. Oh dear.
Michael was like, this was not what I intended to happen with DeMiro attacking everyone. It's like it just totally went pear-shaped.
Oh yeah, no, I know. But keeping in mind, no, I know it sounds like I wasn't prepared for that, but keeping in mind, I've known Tim for so long that it really gets to the point where it's like, oh, well, Tim's on the other side of the group. I guess we're going all Rambo on this. Good luck, everyone else.
Cool, yeah.
Tim's like, I cast invisibility. I like get some like black face paint and I go all guerrilla warfare. Charlie's in the trees. Charlie's in the trees. PCs are out to get me. They got my friends, but I won't let them get me. You're under a hypnosis spell. They keep telling me that, but I can't believe them. I might be under. They might be trying to hypnotize me. Oh my god, yeah.
I cast fireball.
I use heighten just to include my party member.
It's like that Japanese soldier in World War II who wouldn't believe them when they told him that the war was over for 37 years.
Yeah, that's true. Very sad story, but yes, very true.
Yes,
but very true.
I was about to cast sleep next.
Yeah,
as well.
it was actually really funny. They had to get the on that note of that story. They actually had to get that they actually had to get the commanding officer of that soldier who was in retirement to come out of retirement, wear his uniform, and actually go to the island, get flown out to tell him that the war was over. So that was, yeah, that was next level. It was very cool story. Go look it up if you haven't. It's a lot of fun.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy, really poor guy. But good on him. Like, I mean, like, you know, the Japanese are all about, like, you know, strength and honor and commitment and stuff. And that guy had it in spades. So good on him. Yeah, good on him. Esther, memorable moment for today?
I liked Cyrus. I was in school too.
Yes. He's actually a race of creature known as the mongrel folk, which again for Australians is a whole other thing, which is fucking hilarious. You know, like the mongrel folk, like you bloody mongrel. So yeah, that was great. No, he was awesome, and I love to play like those kind of Quasimodo Igor kind of characters. They're so much fun to play. I wish I could play more of them. All right, we have a couple. I'm sorry, go on. No. I was going to move on, but you can ask your question, Carl.
I was kind of struggling at the end just because I didn't want to ask for anything. I hadn't wanted to go in, but I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to. Obviously, I don't want to go too far into castle whenever we're just like that. We came here as guests, and it is usually rude to go around someone's house whenever they haven't let you in.
Don't
yet.
worry, I was not expecting.
I didn't want to say anything because I knew y'all wanted to go in, so I just I didn't say
Well, keeping in mind, well, actually, that's a good point.
expecting.
And what would you do in regards to that? What I would suggest, and this is just in general, if you find yourself at odds with your party in particular ways, in particular fashions, like this is not an uncommon scenario. Like 3 people want to go and explore this next area. One person says, "I don't think that's wise." And I get asked that question quite a lot, especially from a lot of my younger players. And what I tell them is this. There are 2 aspects that you need to look at. And one is the group wants to go that way, and yeah, you kind of should let them. But your character doesn't have to be okay with it. You just need to know how to express that your character isn't necessarily thinking it's the best idea. Do you try and stop them? Well, if you think they're in danger, absolutely try to stop them. Like, imagine they were all mind controlled, right? Yeah, absolutely, stop them. Number 2, if it is something that they've just made the democratic decision, also, you know, and that's just where it's going, then what you need to look at is, what can I do to make sure that this was the right decision? Switch gears and be like, okay, how do we keep us safe? How do we make sure that everything is done? You know, and it could be little things like Esther saying, you know, hey guys, listen, don't touch anything, don't break anything. You know, I mean, that's a little bit hard with the skeletons, but you know what I mean? Like those little things that allow you to still chase that hospitality vibe. So there's lots of little things that you could do, no matter what scenario, whatever game you're in, that allows you to help you change the gears. And the third and most important way is change sides. I mean, if you can change your mentality and go, yeah, I want to explore now too, then everyone's kind of doing the thing that they want to do. You know, so that's my 2 cents on that particular thing. But I appreciate the fact that, yeah, you went along with it, and yeah, it was really good. Plus, again, thank you for the compliment on Igor. Now we have one question here from AK Ryder, but of course, a very warm welcome, AK, and thank you for joining. Was Nevermore written into the Curse of Strahd, or was that me? That was entirely me. I love awakened animals. Like, they're one of my favorite little things to use here and there. I don't use it quite often, but there is one individual, one character that I actually have. It's actually a crow belonging to one of my self-inserts into Dungeons & Dragons. So in my horror games, I play a character called the Undertaker. He is basically just me. There's no character, there's no role play. It's actually a very difficult role for me to play because I have to struggle to not be anything. It's just me, right? And he is just a gravedigger, and all he does is give people information. If you want to know about, like, hey, this person died, how did they die? It's like, well, I saw they had a cut on their throat, or, I saw this person was attacked by a wild animal, but it was a much bigger wild animal than, yada, 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 right? So that character had a pet raven So if the Undertaker wasn't around, the Raven named Nevermore was the one that they would talk to. And Nevermore was actually just a fey raven. That was all he was. He was just a fairy raven. So he was very cool. I liked him. Yeah.
Though in this case, he wasn't an awakened animal. We were awakened.
Yeah, you were awakened people. That's all it came down to.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Now, we are going to sign off for the evening. So thank you again for joining us. We hope that you guys had fun. Guys, stick around for the raid. As you know, we use things like the channel points in order for you guys to influence the game, which we will, of course, earn tons if you stick around for raids and the like. Thank you, everyone, for the follows, for the subscriptions. Hester, thank you again for your 3-month subscription, and Secondhand Samurai for 8 glorious months, dude. Dude, guys, your support is so appreciated, so wonderful. Lux 10101, Sistra, Tasriel cheered. Yeah, Tasriel and Hester for cheering. Son of Fra and Skald Song. By the way, Skald Song, great name. I love Skalds. Skalds are like one of my favorite freaking types of bards. The barbarian. Love them. Yeah. So thank you guys for the follows. Thank you guys for the bits. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for being absolutely wonderful. And may the rest of your week go absolutely splendiferously. Again, we're going to go and raid someone. We are going to raid Zibashu. For those of you who do not know who Zibashu is, he is the wonderful artist behind the animated spellbook. So definitely stick around, go say hi, give him the good old-fashioned Aussie, as we always do. And of course, we will see you guys next week here for more Curse of Strahd, as well as, Friday, 5 hours ago, whatever the time it is, 5 hours ago, I will be on the Dreaded GM's channel playing in Siren's Battle of the Bards one-shot. So I'm going to be playing that with Robert Hartley, GM, and I'm going to be playing it with Janet from World Anvil. So come, watch that. Follow my Discord. There will be lots of places for you to be able to see that as it goes out. Yeah.
Around 4 in the morning in America.
What time is it?
Oh, around 4 in the morning for
well,
me.
there you go.
So
yeah, 4 in the morning, Central
fair.
America, like 3 a.m. for like the West Coast. Look, to be fair, we're Australians.
All that.
We can have nice things. So yeah.
You can have your times, we can have ours.
There you go.
Yours are better.
Well, yours are better. I mean, come on.
No, yours are
okay.
better.
Well, thank you. All right, guys, enjoy the raid, and we will see you next time. Until then, as always, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.
Good night.